Hundreds of entrepreneurs battle to be on Money Hunt.
My name is Sal Sista. I'm the president of Pinnacle Innovations and the Wing It. My business plan calls for $750,000 to be used.
Our business plan calls for $5 million in 2 stages to launch.
My business plan calls for $750,000 to $1 million.
Our business plan calls for $1 million for marketing.
Only 2 will make our show, and only 1 will win time with our Money Hunt Mentor. Stay tuned. Money Hunt is brought to you by Excite. Money Hunt is also made possible by Register.com, a first step for businesses and individuals starting their presence on the internet. And Jordan Industries, acquirers and builders of entrepreneurial ventures in a variety of industries.
Welcome to Money Hunt, the one place entrepreneurs have a shot at proving they've got a great idea, a good plan, and the passion to see it through to the next level. It's not so easy starting a business, and we're going to find out who's got what it takes. I'm Miles Spencer. Let's play Money Hunt.
Hi, I'm Cliff Ennico. We scour the country looking for America's hottest new companies, and we pick 2 to come on this show and pitch their ideas before America's toughest critics. Sometimes we like what we hear, sometimes we don't. At the end, one of our guests gets some free help and advice from our Money Hunt mentor.
And today, that's Mickey Herbert, founder of the Bridgeport Bluefish, a professional baseball club based in Bridgeport, and one heck of a night of summer's entertainment if you're ever in the area. Mickey, thanks for coming back to Money Hunt.
Great to be here.
Listen, Mickey, we're going to see some entrepreneurs from the leisure and entertainment field. What are you looking for from these folks?
Well, first of all, I love both these products. I mean, I'm a roller coaster buff. I love this seat shaker thing we're going to hear about. I have a home theater. Both of these companies need to market their plans very aggressively. They believe they have a competitive advantage they need to take advantage of. I want to see how good their marketing plans really are.
Great. Okay, let's roll. Our first guest is Joe Knight of Setpoint Engineered Systems. He's backstage right now with Money Hunt's Monica Wright.
Joe, welcome to Money Hunt.
Thank you.
How exciting, your company designs roller coasters.
We're excited.
Your business plan calls for $1 million.
That's correct.
How long have you been working on this project?
We've been working with a company for about 5 years.
Wow, that's great, Joe. The door's opening. Good luck with your pitch on Money Hunt.
Thank you.
Setpoint Engineered Systems comes to us from Ogden, Utah, and they are designing and building state-of-the-art roller coasters for major U.S. amusement park operators. Can't say that. Joe, welcome to Money Hunt.
Thank you.
Good. Tell us a little bit about the history of this company. How did this company get off the ground?
This company started in 1993 when my partners, who are also both named Joe, used to meet in the library. For 2 years, they met in the library every Wednesday night, and they'd look at each other saying, you know, we don't like the way the company we're at works. We'd like to start our own company. And they developed this idea for a new roller coaster concept, among other things.
Now, you didn't exactly start, though, off with roller coasters, right? You started off with controls for, like, manufacturing systems and stuff like that. How'd you get into roller coasters?
Well, Joe, and myself included, all worked for a company that used to manufacture roller coasters. So we had a lot of experience. We had a lot of contacts in the industry. So that's really how it got started.
Now, Setpoint, you brought a little bit of video, which you shot out in the field. Why don't we cue that up on the screen? Tell us what we're seeing here.
This is our first product that is operating right now at Universal Studios Islands of Adventure in Orlando. We call the product a Swing King. Universal's called this ride their Pteranodon Flyers. What's unique about the ride is it has a side-to-side and a front-to-back swing, making it a gliding, exhilarating ride, and we're really excited about the product.
Well, it looks like a pretty tame ride. Why the appeal?
That's an interesting question. The reason why there's a lot of appeal with that ride with the customers, and the reason why people are really interested in the ride is because Roller coasters now are getting bigger, they're getting faster, and they're getting kind of violent. This ride's an exhilarating, smooth ride. What's happened at Universal is people who typically don't ride roller coasters love our ride because it's a smooth, gliding, easy feel.
Joe, I got to ask you that. Don't roller coasters require a lot of custom installation and stuff like that? Doesn't it cost a fortune to install these things?
It's very expensive to install a roller coaster.
So how do you get scalability out of this business?
Well, the way you get scalability out of the business is you have to sell several units. One thing that the parks do is they install the roller coasters themselves. We provide advisory role, we help with the development of the coaster, but that's about it.
One other product that you have besides the swing thing is seismic. Now, this is much more my style. I consider myself the resident expert on roller coasters here. Seismic features double high G-force splits and near collisions.
It does.
Tell me how successful you've been in marketing that product to the marketplace.
We're not marketing seismic right now.
Okay.
Our first product is the swing thing. The swing thing's a smaller roller coaster. It's less difficult to install and put in. We're a very conservative company. You know, one thing we've been able to do is grow from 0 to 6 million without any outside investment.
Joe, let me jump in here.
Okay.
My concern is just that. I mean, it sounds like you guys are excellent engineers, you've got an outstanding product, but it doesn't sound like you've got a lot of marketing expertise in-house. If I'm going to give you $1 million, I don't see a lot in your business plan to show me how you're actually going to market this thing against some pretty strong competitors.
I agree with you. Our weakness is marketing, and we recognize that as well. That's part of the reason why we put together this business plan. We need a lot of help there.
There's only a couple hundred amusement park operators in this country. Don't they have lock-in arrangements already with roller coaster companies?
No, they don't. That's the other part of this ride that's very unique. The swing thing is it's smaller, has a smaller footprint. It doesn't go up as high. Yeah. It's a smooth ride. We think this ride would work well in a mall.
And you're also going for an older demographic, right? There's this
Absolutely.
So exactly.
When amusement parks are going to buy a roller coaster concept, do they look for consumer preference or footprint, cost, or passenger per hour? So what's the real critical deciding factor?
There are several, and you've named most of them. Passenger per hour is a big issue. Footprint and land is also beginning to be a bigger and bigger issue. This ride has a smaller footprint. It's easier to market. And the price point is in a range that a park can put one in every year.
Your business plan is saying you're looking beyond the amusement park market as well. You're looking at like malls and stuff like that.
Water parks.
How are you going to sell this to somebody who's never had a roller coaster in a mall before?
Well, we've actually talked to some people and have some pretty good leads that way. The new ride that we're opening this spring it's going to be called the Flying Super Saturator, and it's opening at
let's talk about that's the water fight, right? They got the water balloons on the side.
Yes.
You can drop them on passersby. People can squirt them. Isn't that sort of opening the door to World War III?
No, actually, it's opening the door to a new kind of product in amusement parks, an interactive ride, where while you're in line, you're playing with the people in the ride, and if somebody gets you, you're going to get back in line again and try to get them back.
Management question for you. The roller coaster industry is sort of an up and down business. Now,
Absolutely.
If you manage to sell several coaster projects in the next couple of years, are you going to build your permanent staff, or are you going to hedge your bet a little bit with subcontractors?
We're going to build a pretty permanent staff. We have 35 employees right now. In fact, we've had to diversify away from the name Joe, and we have Cindy's and Sharon's and Mike's and Dave's, and we have a lot of different employees now, and we believe that we can build a staff. We've been able to do it to this point, and we need marketing help, and that's where we're going to invest.
Joe, your business plan said something interesting. You say that all new hires at your company have to go through the feared monthly financial quiz. What's that all about?
We're what we call an open book company. I train all the employees on income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow. And what happens to us is I've got technicians on my shop floor that really come after us if we misbid a job.
You know, Joe, you really bet your company, at least your amusement division, on this swing thing, and it seems like you're going to use that to fund the seismic thing.
Exactly.
What assurances do you have that some of your big competitors aren't going to come out with a better product ASAP? And so, I mean, what's your corporate espionage like on this product?
Our corporate espionage isn't very extensive right now. One thing to our advantage is a lot of the competition in the big roller coaster manufacturers, if there is a big roller coaster manufacturer, they're all relatively small, is that they're all based in Europe. They're out of this country, and a lot of the U.S. amusement parks are looking for a domestic ride.
Not necessarily, Joe. There's a guy on the web who's doing roller coaster design. I don't know if you heard about this. I read about this in Wired magazine a couple of months ago. He's doing roller coaster design on the web, which is interactive. You can actually help the design and shape the design. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but isn't that the wave of the future for
I don't know how many people are going to get on a ride that Cliff helps design. Let me ask one question in management and money before we get out of here. Your business plan calls for some capital. How much, and what would you use it for?
We're calling for $1 million in our business plan, and the thing that we would use it for is to develop a worldwide marketing strategy.
Yeah, that's one of the things. I didn't see a real clear use of proceeds as to where you would sink those $1 million. So in terms of a worldwide marketing strategy, what's the first thing you would do?
Well, we need to get a strong marketing executive into our company. That's the first way we'd invest the money. Secondly, this is a relationship-based business. We need to get on airplanes and fly all over the country and see people. We need to do direct mail. We need to get ready for a big trade show that happens in November in the industry. We need capital to make that kind of investment and to make the contacts we need to make.
Joe, I hope your ride on Money Hunt has been a fun one. We're going to take a short break, be back with our second guest right after this.
Hi, I'm Robin Schatz from Business Week Frontier with a tip for entrepreneurs. Sometimes it seems like the big guys get all the breaks, but here's a tax break designed especially for small companies, the Disabled Access Tax Credit. If you have up to 30 employees and under $1 million in revenues, Uncle Sam will credit you up to $5,125 a year for facility improvements that help the disabled. To apply for the tax credit, download Form 8826 from the IRS website.
Time to answer a question from one of our viewers. Lars Eric Soderstrom watches us on KTCI, Minneapolis, St. Paul. I'm looking to buy into a retail franchise. The franchise company is willing to give me an exclusive territory, but they also want to sell directly from their website without giving me a piece of the action. How upset should I be about that? Well, Lars, it depends on what your franchise does. If you're selling toys, for example, that's a big problem, because when they sell their toys on the web, they're taking money right out of your pocket. What they should be doing is using their website to direct traffic to your local franchise outlet. If, on the other hand, what you're doing is auto transmissions, let's say, well, the web's come a long way, Lars, but I don't think people are going to be servicing their cars on the web pretty soon, so it's probably okay. What I would do if I were you, talk to other franchisees of the franchise company and ask if it's been a problem for them, and make sure you do that before you buy in. Speaking of the web, if you want to ask us a question, that's the way to do it. Go to excite.com, go to the search box, and type in Money Hunt, and I'll be right there for you. Our next guest, Mark Luden of Githammer Company, is backstage with Money Hunt's Monica Wright.
Thanks, Cliff. Mark, welcome to Money Hunt.
Thanks, Monica.
Your business plan calls for $5 million. How many times have you pitched your plan?
Twice before in formalized settings.
Well, this is pitch number 3. Mark, the door's opening. Good luck with your pitch on Money Hunt.
Thank you very much.
Githammer Company comes from Westerville, Ohio, near Columbus, and they sell the Butt Kicker, a device that helps you not only listen to music and feel the music, but you can actually experience the music in a place you've never felt it before. Mark, welcome to Money Hunt.
Thank you very much.
Got to ask a question. Githammer Company, what does that mean? It sounds like it's from Lord of the Rings.
Now, it comes from the combination of guitar and hammer, which was a product of the founder of the company for playing guitars with a hammered attachment.
So where'd you get the idea for the Butt Kicker? How'd this get started?
It came from 2 of my partners who are musicians, and one of them is a bass player, and in a band, the bass player and the drummer had the stage monitors up so loud so that they could feel the beat that it annoyed all the other players. And as musicians get to talking and thinking, they decided, wouldn't it be great if they could just feel the music instead of having to make it so loud?
Not a bad story. I understand you brought some video clip. Let's cue it up in the screen. Tell us what we're seeing here.
Right there is our branding image that we have playing 19 seconds long right before a presentation in a 227-seat theater that's fully equipped with butt kicker shakers, so that the audience, who has a great time, actually experiences the product. In fact, when the theater first premiered with them, the audience literally cheered when the seat shook.
Yeah. So basically what this is the thing that sits in the bottom of the seat, and when something explosive happens on the set, the thing actually vibrates.
Right.
So you feel like you're a part of it. Now, does it get into G's forces as well? Like if the rocket is launching, does it make me feel like I'm lifting up in the air, or does it just shake me?
It just shakes you, but since it ties directly to the soundtrack and it's accurate, it actually reproduces the feeling
in real time.
In real time.
I see. Okay. But let's talk about this. There's this kind of a transition. Now, you're still doing the guitar thing, right? You're
No,
still doing
not at all.
You've totally gotten away from that.
Right.
So you're totally focused on
It's
the
all
butt
about the
kicker.
butt kicker.
Okay.
And by the way, the business plan was excellent. You know, I had a real-world experience. I was at an IMAX theater to see a movie. You know, that's a very full-price ticket. And I'm looking at your product and saying, how much more technology can an IMAX-type theater afford before they have to bump already high tickets up? Aren't they overinvested in technology already?
Well, I think that's a good point, but one of the things we've been able to do with our technology is, since it's so powerful yet relatively inexpensive, In that theater you saw, we're able to shake 3 of the seats with just 1 transducer. So we're able to bring the price down for the movie theater market, which is really only one of our segments in our branding proposition, into what we think is a reasonable price point.
Mark? I love your product, and I love the little demonstration we had before the show. But I've seen a lot of business plans. I've never seen one as optimistic as yours. You're talking about startup first year, 6 million, second year, 41 million, then 67 million. When I talked to my wife about this, she said, what if this is a fad, like 3D glasses in a movie theater? I mean, haven't you really bet the farm on this thing, and don't you have a trajectory of sales that's just unbelievable?
Well, when we built the projections for the plan, it's a combination of both sales of the professional version, and the real takeoff comes from launching a smaller consumer version. And I think you probably agree with me if you look at where the entertainment industry is going today. If you've got kids playing Nintendo or computer gamers with the force feedback joysticks, all the devices that shake and feel, this is really where the market's going to become part of the action.
No question that today's moviegoer wants thrills and chills, but what if I'm a more, say, mature moviegoer, or maybe I've had a hip replacement and I don't want my butt kicked? Is there any way of my controlling this thing, or do I get it kicked anyway?
Yeah, well, let's leave the movies to the side, because quite honestly, that's only a portion of where we believe the market is. Really, most of the financial projections come from selling a smaller version of this to the personal home user.
Fine, but my question was, is this optional? Can we turn this on, or can the seat owner decide
this?
Yes,
if you wanted to acquire it like that.
The personal part of the marketplace, how far up the curve of what I call diminished returns are we in terms of these sensory enhancements? Is there a society that sort of leads the way in virtual development, and you're looking at them as giving you an indication of just how far we can go with these virtual sensations?
I think the segment of the market that we're focused on, and that's really validated what we're doing, is the computer gamers, and who always are pushing the envelope, who want to feel it, they want more realism, as well as the custom home theater people.
Yeah. Mark, do you have a patent on this?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Let's talk about management and money. Yeah, I noticed in the plan you have a sales background. Someone in the marketing side, I believe it was you, has sales background, everything from lobsters to data processing. How has that helped or hurt?
Well, I think what it helps us is that even though this is a business based upon protected technology, it's really a sales business. It's a branding business. It's being able to get out and communicate what we're all about and get people to use it.
But as Miles points out, most of your guys come from a financial software background. How does that How does that prepare you for
Well, actually, I do. My 2 other partners, one of them was a very good studio engineer, who actually the patent's in his name, and the other one is an accomplished producer and actually a graduate of the UCLA
Mark, let me
Film
give you a
School.
question about Dolby Labs. They're very effective at marketing their entertainment technology, as you know. Is Dolby more of a potential competitor or a potential partner for you?
Actually, a great partner for us. As they come out, which they just released their new Dolby headphone standard, which lets you have full 5-channel surround in your headphone. Well, you're a home theater aficionado. Yeah. You know then that if you have headphones on, you can't have a subwoofer. Right. So the only way to really feel the low end is a device like us. So they'll pave the way and really drive that demand for our sales.
Because there are other people on the ground, right? There's 3 direct competitors, right now doing seat shakers, right? And they've all got patented products.
Right.
So what's your difference?
The difference with us is, first of all, is that we shake in the below audible, the feeling range where you want. Secondly, we're much more powerful so that the price point can come down so that you get more bang for your buck, as it were.
Let me go back to the business plan a second, because I have 2 concerns. One is you're going to be at $67 million in year 3. At that point, you only have a CFO and a bookkeeper. And even if you take out your production manufacturing, you still got $30 million of your 22,500 units a month of this you're selling, and you have 2 people in your finance department. I'm worried that your SG&A is nowhere near adequate, 2% of sales at that point.
That means sales, general administrative expenses.
Yes. Have you not paid enough attention to sort of the back office operations as you grow?
That's a good point, perhaps. I mean, what we're planning to do with the funds we raise is augment our management team with a qualified CFO, and that may be something that we need to look at.
Mark, your business plan calls for some capital. How much, and what would you use it for?
The business plan calls for $5 million in 2 stages. The first $1.5 million to be used to really drive the sales of the professional version, and the remainder to launch the consumer version.
One of the things I noticed about, again, the financials was that raise that you're looking for in the business plan is 2.5 times your cumulative deficit. Deficit, easy for you to say. Isn't that a little bit of a cushion?
Well, you know, in building plans and getting advice, the advice I've gotten from other entrepreneurs and venture capitalists is make sure you have enough money and don't run out.
Sounds good.
So that's our logic.
We're going to kick butt in our partners meeting after a short break, right after this.
When starting a business, don't look for people who are too much like you. Be honest about your strengths and weaknesses and find people who are good at things you don't do well. If you're a numbers person, look for someone with people skills. If you're a super salesperson, look for someone who can deliver on the promises you make.
Welcome back to Money Hunt. Before our mentor picks a winner, we're going to flesh out these plans. First was Joe from Set Point. The endorphin-pumping G-force ride with the tamer swing thing as well. I love that stuff. Great written plan, but wanted to see a clear use of proceeds, and he really needs to button up that element of the plan. I say start the hunt now for the marketing guy. That's going to help him sell his plan, rather than getting the money and going out and looking for the guy. Cliff?
Yeah, I agree. But first of all, I like Joe a lot. I think he's a great guy. I think he's a super salesman. I think he's got a huge challenge in front of him, though. The roller coaster industry is just saturated with competitors. Amusement parks have relationships with existing people. He's got some great ideas, but hey, you can't patent a water fight. You can't do that. There's nothing proprietary. I think other people are going to be able to go in and compete against him. I do agree he's right to go for the older demographic. I like the gentler swing and all that. Whether that's going to be a new market category remains to be seen.
Like is right. I think you're all wet. Go ahead, Mickey.
Well, Cliff, I think I disagree with you a little bit. First of all, I love their product. I've been to Universal Studios, this new Islands of Adventure. I couldn't get on the ride because of the 2-hour wait. I like the relatively conservative approach this company takes to things. I like their culture. I like that they're a sound, successful, established business. They've done 250 projects in the roller coaster business over the last 7 years, so they're not a total newcomer here. And I like Joe Knight. I like the fact that he's a former Ford financial analyst, and he sort of gives a reality
Cliff
check
says he's
to
a
these
super
guys.
salesman, but he's the CFO.
That's right. He's the CFO.
I mean, he believes so much in his product and the company's capability. As a CFO, he's able to sell it on a program like this, and that's impressive.
Well, I think it's interesting that he's looking beyond the amusement park market, though. I mean, I think what he needs to do is he needs to do a prototype of one of these things in, like, say, the Mall of America, Minneapolis, someplace that's huge, and see if that takes off for him, because that would differentiate him sufficiently from his competition.
Nicely done plan, good pitch. Let's move on to Mark from Gitamer, the butt shaker audio. Boy, you got to feel it to believe it, and that's for sure. Both Mickey and I like that. I think maybe installing butt kickers in venture capitalists' offices might be the first place for them to pursue it.
And I got the first place for it.
There you go. The IMAX's point that I made about them being overinvested in technology, that gave me pause, but his real focus and the upside of this plan, in my perception, was partnering with a consumer brand and going into the home theater market. That's where he's going to make or break it. Exciting company.
Yeah. Clearly, moviegoers like thrills and chills, but I can't get over the fact that in that market, at least, it's going to be a fad thing. It'll last 6 months or a year, and the consumer will be onto something else. I think his market is going to be somewhere else. This actually, what's exciting about this product, Miles, is it has therapeutic applications. It has applications for the deaf, which is something very interesting. People who can't hear things any other way. I think this is a very exciting product. I think the movie theaters are the way to get it launched, but I'm not so sure that's where he wants to be 2 or 3 years down the road.
Mickey.
I love their product, too. As I mentioned, I had a home theater. I'd love to be the first person in my neighborhood to have this. My teenager would love it. My 5- and 6-year-old would love it. I love the branding they've done with this company. What a great name. It has cachet. It sticks. I love the fact they have this museum in Columbus that's installed it. Right. I like their competitive advantage, which I think will probably be temporary, but I like it for now. I like the fact that Disney's specifying this thing, that Barbra Streisand is using it. I have some problems, though. I think the plan is way too ambitious. I don't think they've paid enough attention to the back office operations as they grow. And to me, this company is liable to explode or implode.
Okay, Mickey, the rules say you got to pick one of them to give a little bit of help to. Who's it going to be, Joe from Set Point or Mark from Gitamer, and why?
Tough call. I think with Mark, what you've got is a significantly higher risk with a significantly higher return potential here. For my money, I think I'd go with the safer investment here, which would be Joe Knight and Set Point.
A little bit of help from Joe. Let's go backstage for some reaction with Monica Wright.
Congratulations, Joe. Here's Mickey Herbert's business card.
Thank you.
Miles, back to you.
Thanks, Monica. Money Hunt's all about being a better entrepreneur, and a big part of that process is our mentor, Mickey Herbert. Thanks for coming back. One more question before we get out of here. What's the greatest challenge you've ever overcome as an entrepreneur?
Well, with this professional baseball team, we knew everybody loved baseball in America practically, but our challenge was to sell it in a depressed urban environment where suburbanites were unlikely to come unless we could brand this thing as safe and affordable family entertainment. That was our challenge.
So you think this is easy? Taking a roller coaster ride with a butt-kicking panel of experts while a TV audience looks on? It's not.
If you think your business can take off like one of those pterodon flyers, get in touch with us through our online audition. Maybe we'll be seeing you on Money Hunt.
Starting or growing your own business? Miles and Cliff have 27 rules to help you succeed. Based on actual events from our Money Hunt guests, this book is full of timeless stories and valuable lessons for today's entrepreneur. Purchase your copy by calling 1-800-925-0745. For $25 plus $3 shipping and handling, Money Hunt's 27 rules are also available at bookstores nationwide or by ordering from our website at www.moneyhunt.com. Money Hunt is brought to you by Excite. Money Hunt is also made possible by Register.com, a first step for businesses and individuals starting their presence on the Internet. And Jordan Industries, acquirers and builders of entrepreneurial ventures in a variety of industries.